Left that out.
All right, let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Welcome everybody to the January 16th meeting of the Shawnee County Board of County Commissioners. I'm Aaron Mays. I'm the chair this year. I represent District 3. On my left is Commissioner Bill Rippon, representing District 1. And on my right is Commissioner Kevin Cook, representing District 2. County Clerk at the end there, Lisa Schmidt. And then County Councilors also joining us, Rich Eckert. So let's begin. First item, please.
All right. Item number 1 on the agenda is presentations.
No presentations today. So next item, please.
Item 2, unfinished business.
No unfinished business. Next item.
Item 3, consent agenda.
Okay, we do have 6 items on the consent agenda. If there are no questions or concerns, I would move for approval.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 4 is new business. A, County Clerk. Number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Okay, total vouchers for this period is $5,504,613.84. Some of the significant payments include $116,193.35 to Axon Enterprise, paid with federal grants for Sheriff's Office annual body camera and auto tagging payment. $91,272.24. Axon Enterprises for Sheriff's Office for annual payment for TASER certification. $220,771.46 to KBS Constructors Kansas grant portion of the monthly construction costs for the Department of Corrections Mental Health Edition. And last, $2,666,814 to Allianz Insurance Services for county insurance renewal. If there's no questions or comments, I would move for approval of the vouchers.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item number 2 is consider correction orders.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
All right. B, Sheriff's Office. 1, acknowledge receipt of correspondence from Sheriff's Office that they officially retired K-9 Deputy Drago from active service on January 1, 2025. K-9 Drago gave 10 years of service to the citizens of Shawnee County, and ownership will be transferred to his current handler, Deputy Guy Gardner.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Hill with Shawnee County Sheriff's Office. We're here to honor the service of this service dog, Drago. As you can see, all of our canine team is here in support of the retirement of this dog. Drago is a 10-year-old German Shepherd that was actually born in the Czech Republic. A lot of our dogs are from vendors that are even coming from out of country, and the vendors get them and train them. Drago, talking to the handlers, has been one of the most active, productive canines that Shawnee County Sheriff's Office has had. Drago's went through actually several handlers. Corporal Bowling, Deputy Marr, Deputy Blanchard, and he's ended his career with Deputy Guy Gardner. Drago is a dual-purpose canine, trained in both patrol and explosive detection. During his career, he's done more than 250 explosive sweeps on facilities and all types of venues here in Shawnee County. He's done 15,000 actual sniffs from detections of different explosives to narcotics. There's been 180 patrol deployments for Drago, and he has apprehended more than 70 felons in Shawnee County during his career. So at this time, we just want to thank Drago for his service, and I appreciate all the K-9 unit being here for Drago, and I'll stand for any questions that you might have.
Any questions?
No.
No questions, but you can tell he still wants to work.
He
I
does.
think it's a reluctant retirement here.
Well, like a lot of us old guys, the mind's still sharp, it's the body that gives out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's great. 10 years is a long time for a dog to be working, so time for him to just be a good boy, lay around. So, do you guys want to do a photo real quick?
Yes, sir. We can line up right here. Get around your retiree. You guys go ahead, you start with it.
I can hide underneath here if they.
Yeah. Thank you guys for taking the time to come in today. I appreciate it. Thank you. I would make a motion that we acknowledge receipt of the correspondence.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Next item, C, Audit Finance. 1, consider approval of contract C12-2025 with Forbes LLP for audit services to be paid from the county clerk's general expenses budget. County's general expenses budget, not my budget, sorry.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jennifer Sauer, Financial Administrator. This is our annual contract with Forbes for our audit services. They have already begun some of the preliminary work on this. It's just a making sure that we get the contract in place so that we can formally get moving.
Okay. Any questions?
None? No. I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
Okay, got a motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Thank
Thank you.
Next item, please.
D, Public Works, number 1, consider awarding bid to Potters Industries LLC of Malvern, PA for up to 44,000 pounds of glass beads.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kurt Niehaus, Director of Public Works. This is my annual request to award a bid for retro-reflective beads for traffic line paint. Potters Industries has provided beads probably 7 out of the last 8 years. They were the low best bid again this year. Looks like a 3 cents a pound increase or 6%. I look forward to your questions.
Any questions?
No. I would move for approval.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
2, consider awarding bid to Ham Incorporated DBA Buildex LLC of Lawrence, Kansas for up to 4,000 cubic yards of lightweight aggregate.
Kurt Niehaus, Director of Public Works. Again, an annual request for road maintenance materials. This is the lightweight aggregate that we use in chip seals, mainly on county roads. Hams, which is now, I guess, owns Buildex. Buildex has provided material probably 8 of the last 8 years because, quite frankly, they're the only maker of the material in this part of the country. So it looks like a 3% increase, which is what I've been told to expect annually in a kind of a general sense. And with that, I look forward to your questions.
Questions?
I don't really have a question, but just a comment, and again, just noting for anybody that is watching or notating that we had an increase in the glass beads, we had an increase in the aggregate. When we look at our budgets at the end of the year and we discuss the cost of services and goods going up, this is just an example of those things. So identifying those, we have 3% increases here. Those are going to have to be adjusted in people's budgets. So just notating that.
In addition, the contract with Forvis that we just approved was also a 4% increase, so.
There's
I mean,
another
that's-
increase.
Yeah, every single item so far has been a small increase for inflation, so,
And all of those get passed on in our budget at the end of the year.
right.
So,
Thank you.
all right, I would make a motion to approve.
I'll second. We've got a motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Mays. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
E, Department of Corrections. Number 1, consider approval of contract C13-2025 with the City of Topeka for fiscal year 2025 expenditures related to the city code compliance inmate work crew to be paid through monthly invoicing.
Joe Rucker, Shawnee County Department of Corrections. I'm requesting approval of an agreement between the City of Topeka and Shawnee County Department of Corrections for one work crew, inmate work crew, and one supervisor who supervises inmates on a continuing basis. The inmates will be paid $8 a day. They'll be in the neighborhoods cleaning up, picking up trash, brush piles, pruning trees, making sure these neighborhoods are improving. We'll submit a statement to the city on a monthly basis to cover the rate of the hourly rated officer as well. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions?
No.
All right, then I would move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Number 2, consider approval of contract C162025, a yearly contract with Cordant Health Solutions for their Century Call-in system in the amount of $71,000.
Good morning, Steve Willis, Department of Corrections, overseeing community corrections. We are requesting the approval of our our contract with Cordon Health Solutions, which runs a Century Call-in system, which is a drug screening process. I came to you a few months ago. We applied for a grant through the Kansas Governor's Grants Department. That grant was approved for $71,000. This contract will be what is used with that grant fund. This program is necessary for our office as we need to improve on our drug screening process. Drug screening within our department helps us identify where there's a need and provide treatment services in a quicker fashion. With that, well, I will say too that there are not many agencies like this. We have asked, and it has been approved by the county audit finance team for sole source. And with that, I'll stand for questions.
Questions? Okay. Sounds like a good deal. So I will move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. Next item, please.
F, Facilities Management. 1, consider approval of contract C142025 with PKMR HTK for Phase 1 of the courthouse restroom renovation CIP project. The cost of Phase 1 is $9,450,000 to be paid from the project fund.
Just to clarify with the clerk, it's $9,450. Good morning, Commissioners. Nelda Henning, Director of Facilities Management. We had issued an RFP. We received 7 responses. Those responses were put before the Professional Services Committee. The Professional Services Committee has made the recommendation to go with PKMR HTK. They were the lowest bid and most responsive. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions?
Again, I don't have a question, but I just might update. The memo didn't have the contract number, but it is contract 14-2025. And just noting the funding source is paid from the courthouse restroom renovation capital improvement project fund. So just making sure those are clear where those are coming from. And I would move for approval.
I'll second.
Okay, we've got a motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Thank you, Nilda. Next item, please.
G, Parks and Recreation. 1, consider approval to award the Levee Trail resurfacing bid and execute contract C15-2025 with B&T Construction LLC for same, including the Phase 1 trail resurfacing and installation of the Tyler Street approach.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jess Rakestraw, Parks and Recreation. We would like to move forward with B&T Construction for the resurfacing of the Levee Trail. They were the lowest and most responsive bidder on the portions we're ready to move forward with, which includes about a 3.2-mile stretch from the Westgate Bridge to Tyler Street on the north side of the river. Also includes the approach up to the levee from Tyler Street. So this will all have a gravel base with crushed limestone on top. We expect the project to come in around $151,000. We did receive a grant, the Recreational Trails Grant from Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks for $102,000. So we plan to pay for the remainder of that out of our building maintenance fund. And we hope to have it completed by June. So, happy to answer any questions.
Just clarify again, the length of the trail that we're doing,
It's about 3.2 miles.
and this is going from the Westgate Bridge, and it's going west towards Tyler or east?
East towards Tyler.
Okay, so it's going into the city.
Correct,
All right.
yes.
And then, this currently, at the top of the levee, there's not any surfacing, or?
I think there is a little bit of servicing. I think it's just old. I think it's mostly gravel. Commissioner might be able to correct me. I see he's wanting to speak. But yes, there is a type of surfacing there, but it's just not in great shape. So it just needs to be updated. So it'll have that, a nice, I think it's 2-inch gravel base, and then at least a 1.5 inch of crushed limestone on top of that.
And we do have the permission of the Army Corps to be able to do this?
Yes, we do have somebody working with, I forget his name, but there is permission being granted for that.
And then the total on the project you have is about 151,000?
Correct.
And then you got how much from the grant?
102,000?
Okay. So approximately $50,000 is coming from the Parks and Recreation Fund?
Well, yeah, from our building maintenance fund. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Commissioner Rippon.
The surface that was there to start with is, it's just kind of a rough gravel that, that it's good enough for, for maintenance for, the people that maintain the levees. But it's not a great surface for riding bikes and walking. So this really just gives it a nice surface, a trail surface. Might also mention, we have an MOU with the city, since it's their levy.
Right.
And it allows us up there, and it spells out who does what, who's responsible for signage, trails, if there's a bench put out there or something like that. So we have that all spelled out. Tyler Street, is that the street that,
Dead Ends by Kansas Sand and Concrete, I think, is the company there.
okay, all right.
But right over by Great Overland Station, for a better
Yeah.
reference.
Yeah, and then the other end will be where you go over the levee, over that part where to go down to down by the weir and all that.
Yeah, so that's the east end of it.
That'll be or the west end of it.
Or the west of it, I'm
Right.
sorry, yes, the west end of it.
Okay.
So,
All
just a
right.
little beyond that.
Okay, well, good, glad to see this going in.
Yeah.
Just another question, Commissioner
Yeah.
Hayes. Your funding source, the building maintenance fund, why did we identify the building maintenance fund as opposed to the 3R fund, which would be revolving?
We typically do the building maintenance fund for grant matching. And
Okay.
because we did grant for this one, that's the fund that we typically do to match grants.
Okay. That's the questions I had.
Should we change the name of it to the Grant Matching Fund?
Oh, it could use a name improvement for sure.
Okay, I was gonna ask the same question, so I'm glad you did.
And this is phase one, and phase two would be going on out to like Sunflower Soccer, then that would probably be the next
Yeah,
phase.
you could continue west, I think, quite a ways to get, as far as getting the Shawnee County line to Willard or whatnot, so.
All right,
All right, good to see it happening.
I would move for approval.
I'll second. Motion by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Mays. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. Next item, please.
2, consider approval of request to solicit bids for the replacement of golf course irrigation at Cypress Ridge Golf Course.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jess Rakestraw, Parks and Recreation. like to go out for an RFP for the pump and the affiliated motors for the irrigation system at the Cypress Ridge Golf Course. My understanding is the life expectancy on these are about 15 to 20 years. And I think our current one is about 16 to 17 years old. And they've kind of noticed they're experiencing low pressure discharge issues. And so they were advised maybe to start tackling this now versus letting it become urgent in possibly the middle of a peak golf season. So we'd like to tackle it now. It would be paid for out of the golf course revolving fund. So I'd be happy to try and answer any questions you might have.
Is this something they can do now, like in the winter? I mean, obviously, they'd have to dig through the
Yeah,
snow.
a little bit of
but-
snow issue currently, but yeah, no, I think, yeah, I do think they intend to tackle it here as soon as they can. So once they get this RFP out and get responses back, I'm sure the timeline will line up with a little better weather than what we're experiencing now and we'll be able to tackle it.
Okay. Any other questions?
No.
All right. I would move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jess. Next item, please.
Next item, H, Emergency Management. Number 1, consider approval of request to issue bids and engage in the projects that were approved for the capital outlay funding through the FY '21, '24, and '25 budgetary processes.
Good morning, all. Dustin Nichols, Emergency Management. Pretty self-explanatory. We want to go out for bids for these projects that were previously approved.
Any questions?
No.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, please.
I, Information Technology. 1, consider approval of Contract C 202025, a renewal with Computer Information Concepts for the county's current tax administration solution platform at a cost of $63,895.
Morning, Commissioners. Mark Price. This is just the renewal of our tax software support. It does all of our tax distributions, tax collections, and record keeping for the treasurer, clerk, and audit uses it. So and also it's used by the appraiser's office for mobile homes.
Okay. Any questions for Mark?
No.
I'd move for approval.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Mays. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, please.
We are at 5, Public Comment.
I don't have anybody signed up for public comment today. So next item, please.
6, Administrative Communications.
Any administrative communications?
Good morning, Commissioners. Nelda Henning, Director of Facilities Management. As we're winding down the courthouse renovation project, we are in the phase of where we're tearing up the sidewalk ramps that go from the east and west side public sidewalks to the front door of the courthouse. As those are being removed, we have caution tape up, and we request the public, if you are not able to traverse the stairs, to please use the east entrance of the courthouse, which is the designated ADA access point to the courthouse. We also encourage any staff members to assist the public in getting to that door. Also note that with the replacement of the ramps, because the concrete is green, we will not be able to treat it during the winter months. So please note the ramps are closed off for your safety. And we'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioner. Bill St. Shawnee County Solid Waste. Just like to remind everybody that in celebration of Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday on Monday, we will be closed. So we will slide our operations to the right, with Wednesday being our double day with our Tuesday and Wednesday customers. Also like to thank everybody's patience over these last 2 weeks as we caught up with our collection operations. And just like to thank all the road crews out there, both state, county, township, and city, for the outstanding job that they did in clearing all of this snow and ice. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other administrative communications this morning? All right, Commissioner Rippon,
Really don't have anything to add.
Commissioner Cook,
No, just other than thanking all of our, again, I know we've said it many times, but I'll say it again, everybody involved from emergency management to public works to Department of Corrections to solid waste. We've had a lot of people working a lot of hours to get things cleaned up after the snow and to get us through the snowstorm. And again, there's been a lot of work, and I know that everybody's happy that their trash has finally been picked up and we're back on schedule. So thank you for everybody. And Parks and Recreation, I can't
And
forget them.
facilities.
And facilities, and so, so it's the whole team. So,
Yes,
thank you.
and I believe we are planning to have a work session on, I think, the 27th to talk about the snowstorm and our response to it and kind of an after-action review. So we do not have a work session on Monday because it is Martin Luther King Day, and so we won't be here. Next meeting would be Thursday of next week. So that's all I have. Any other items? All right, next item, please.
Last item on the agenda is executive session.
We do not have a need for an executive session today, so we're adjourned.